Well, it's that time again when we will be talking football here on Morning Live. And the last time out with the World Cup, it was so much fun. And we intend replicating that fun, if not more, this time around. So Bafana Bafana, they'll play against Angola in their first match of the 35th edition of the TotalEnergies CAF Africa Cup of Nations next Monday. That's the 22nd of December, 2025. The South Africans men's football senior team is traveling to Morocco today, and that's after that win yesterday against Ghana in that warm-up. The previous host country and the winner of the 2023 Cup of Nations, Côte d'Ivoire, they, of course, hoping to defend their top position. But Bafana Bafana, well, we're hoping that we could also improve on our position in the last outing, which was, of course, bronze. And with the TotalEnergies CAF Africa Nations Cup starting in Morocco on the 21st till the 18th of January. To help us talk through some of our expectations, we joined this morning by two South African football legends who need no introduction. Bafana Bafana as Mark Fish, and as I say, no introductions needed. And of course, Mark's Maponyane, they speaking to me this morning. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Sakina, and good morning to the listeners.
Marx, let me start with you.
Good morning, Fish.
No, I think he didn't quite hear you there, Marxie. Fish, Marx was just saying hi to you, so I'm not sure.
Mafa, respect, Mafa.
So now that you guys have greeted each other officially, let's just jump straight into it. And starting with the squad that Hugo Bruce has selected. And there's been a lot of talk on fringe issues, of course. Marx, as someone, who has played at the highest level, talk to us about all of that banter in and around the squad and how that will impact this team going into AFCON.
I think the squad is strong, and I'll tell you why I say the squad is strong. It's a group of players that the coach believes in, that the coach have worked with, and obviously is bar one or two that he hasn't worked with. Tyrone Smith he hasn't worked with, and also Campbell. But looking at the squad itself, it's a solid squad that has to go out there and do what he's expecting of them. And I'm not obviously from that school of thought that says so-and-so should have been in, so-and-so should have been in. I don't like that part of the game because whoever is on in the squad, it means the coach believes in him and must always go out there and do the job.
And it's water under the bridge anyway. We've got to focus on what we have, Mark. So just looking at that squad, and if we could start from the back in terms of the goalkeepers. We've got Ronwen Williams, we've got Ricardo Goss, Sipo Chain. Ronwen Williams, undisputedly number one. So a safe pair of hands there.
Is that to Fish or Marx?
Fish. For you.
Sorry, but I can't hear Mafa speaking. Yes, no, definitely. Ronwen Williams has not only made the number one spot but he's also, captaining the team. He's a very vocal individual, and he's a very good leader at the moment. So he's brought them from the last AFCON through the AFCON qualifiers, through the World Cup qualifiers. So yeah, certainly. Ronwen is a leader and someone that the team respects and the players respect, but most importantly, obviously, he has the relationship with Hugo Bruce, which for me, when the captain has a good relationship with the coach and the technical team, he has a good influence over the rest of the team. So certainly, Ronwen has kept his place, but Ricardo Goss and Cheney, that both players playing well for their clubs, and they've been, I think, like Mafa probably mentioned, the squad, we heard people talking about this player should be in the squad, that player is unlucky to not be in the squad. At the end of the days, I think Hugo Bruce and his technical team was always going to pick a squad and a group of players that he has become comfortable with, that understand the way he wants them to play, and vice versa. So players that he trusts, and this is what he's done over the last couple of years. He's got his squad together. Yes, there's a couple of injuries, a couple of players that have unfortunately missed out, but we have a squad of players that are representing us going to the AFCON. And there, where you were showing the beginning there, the preview of the national teams that have a good chance of going on to lift the trophy. It's exciting to see Bafana back there, because for many a year we were hoping just to be part of it. Now we are part of it. We've stamped our name back on African football, which is fun and magnificent for us to see as football fans. And Bafana, this is now an AFCON they're going to, where they're not just going to compete. The rest of Africa know Bafana now. So there, I was again listening to one of your viewers, his comments there, and I think exactly what he said there. I think the challenge for Bafana now is that every single game is a cup final, and every country that plays against Bafana is going to want to achieve and want to play to the best of their ability to make sure they get a result against our national team. So their challenge is complacency, not to remember how hard they worked to get there, and on each and every single game to showcase their individual abilities, and obviously everything they've worked so hard for over the last couple of years to get to a position where African football know Bafana's back, and these guys know that every single game is a challenge for them.
Indeed. And then, of course, speaking to that, Marxie, it's also not just about this AFCON, because players are also going to play to make sure that they're in the World Cup squad. And, you don't really want to be eclipsed by anyone going into the World Cup as well.
No, that is for sure. I think, but then the players, the professionalism that they have, and that I think that Hugo Broos is installed, is that it's, yes, at the back of their head, you probably have that, but you're going to an AFCON now, and this is the pinnacle of African football. Been fortunate to play in this tournament, and when you play in this and you do well, it just lifts you as an individual and the stature of our national team. So and the end of the players. So the World Cup is not should not be on their thinking. It's the AFCON. This is where they came third last time out. Their ambition is to go higher, and at the end of the day, is the opening game, that first game against Angola, which is going to be a tough game. That is a match that they need to make sure that they go through and do well. And when I see you put on the squad there, we have we have a very good squad, and it's nice to see some the two young players that have been included in the squad. For my personal opinion, that is just for experience. Whether they'll be used is another. Highly unlikely, but I do believe that it's an experience for future. But that's an exciting squad, and we have Ronwen Williams, but I enjoy Tebogo Mokoena, because I think that he's not only is he playing partner, teammate of Ronwen Williams at Mamelodi Sundowns, but in the national team, he has grown in stature, and his ability as well to communicate with his team is going to be very important, because yes, he has fabulous players around him, but I think he's an integral part of that national team. So looking forward to see how these boys perform at this AFCON.
And then as we are working through that squad, maybe we could select our starting lineup for Hugo Broos as well, because Marty, if I could bring you in. So Fish says you've got, of course, Ronwen Williams, who one would imagine would be the first name on the team sheet. And I'm inclined to agree on Tebogo Mokoena would probably go down with him there. But then looking at the rest of those defenders at the back there, Kulisa Mudau, of course, strong going forward. He's rather, disciplined defensively, and also provides the necessary width for the squad. Then you've got Tabang Matuludi, Tylen Smith, as Marxie says, as Fish says, would probably be there for exposure. SABC, let's talk to those players, Marxie, and just your take on them.
Yeah, interesting is that yesterday after the game, we were just reminiscing with Alfazwani, and we were trying to play around with the squad that would be starting. And just at the back in particular, we're looking at Ronwen Williams and then Mudiba on the left, then Mutawa on the right. Then we were saying, yes, it has to be Ngezana and Mbogazi. So we were playing around, and then CBC, no, he wouldn't be starting. So already the back is sorted
CBC
from that
starts for
point of
me,
view.
Maxi. For me, CBC starts. Fish, where are you? CBC, Albas, who starts there? I'm in agreement with the three, but I think CBC for me ahead of Albas. Max, Fish, your take there?
Which did Bafa say, the defenders?
So he's got Mudau at right back, he's got Modiba at left back, and then we agree on Ngezana at centre back, but he goes for Obas, and I'm saying CBC there. Who's your preference?
And Mbogazi, yes.
Sure. I think it's a toss-up between the two, but I'm also probably going Obas before Sabisi.
Okay, they would know better than me, but hey, don't bet against me. I'm usually good when it comes to bets.
Thank you on that one.
And then, of course, just looking at the attack then, and again, Fish, I'll give you the opportunity to start. Who starts for you?
Fish is a defender, so don't give him the opportunity to start.
There we go. Finally, this is what I was waiting for. So I can hear Muffa because I know he's going to have a comment. So then I will go with what Muffa thinks. But yeah, I think I am we want obviously someone that can score goals and someone that can work well for the team. Again, I do like Muffa. Let me just have a look at. I do like. Is Apollos? Is he fit?
He is. He is. He's there. He's fit. I'll start him. I'll go with Apollos. I'll give you mine. Apollos. I'll go with Apollos, Mofokeng, and Lyle. That's how I would start.
I would probably as well. I do think that maybe Lyle is a player that's a lot of we have a lot of expectation because we think that he plays in the English Premier League and he should be doing, but he works hard for the team. So I do think that certainly I'm going to go on with you on that. I'm with you, and whatever Muffa says, I'm still with you.
Muffa, who starts for you?
I'll go with Apollos, Lyle, and definitely Nkota. And I'll tell you why. Because he's stronger, and at AFCON level, you need his nerves of steel. I mean, you've seen Nigeria and DRC. That was not only football, it was also guts and grit. So you've got to have that to win AFCON. So Nkota will have those penetrative runs, and he has grown in stature and confidence since he left the country.
Yeah, he is consistent. There's the pace, there's the flair. But then, of course, I don't know, at this point, I just think, for me, Mofokeng, I want to see him have a good run because there's still so much more to come from this guy. And I want to see him start. I don't want him as an impact player. I want to see him start. But, of course, we're going to see how the coach ultimately works this out. But just looking at the opposition as well, our first game against Angola, how important is that, Fish?
I mean, Muffa knows as well. Any tournament match is important, but your opening game is so important because to get a good result, it puts you on a good step going forward. The Angolan team, a team that did well in the last AFCON as well, they've just recently changed the coaching staff. They are a very physical team. So they will compete against South Africa, and they have one or two really good individual players as well. So needless to say, Angola is going to be it's a tough opening game. Any game in the AFCON obviously is a tough game, but the Angolan team will be psyched, and they will fancy their chances against South Africa as well. So that opening game against Angola is for me it's a must win, or making sure that we get a good result, because it's still going to be if we look at the rest of the teams, Egypt is obviously going to be the clash for us. When you look at the pundits predicting Egypt are one of the favourites to win it, that can only be because of the World Cup run that they have. They qualified for World Cup, but so did South Africa. So I don't know how Egypt suddenly comes into it, because they had not a good last AFCON. So anyway, they're one of those. And then Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is always, at the moment, Zimbabwe is a team that they can actually beat any team in the group, because you just don't know which Zimbabwe team will rock up on any given day. So that is also a challenge in itself. But most importantly, make sure you get a good result, your opening fixture, and then that will step you hopefully in good stead going forward in the rest of the group phase.
Moxie, for you, and I agree with what Fish says. You know, a team like Zimbabwe will want to be spoilers, if nothing else. And we saw how they played against us in the last match where we faced them. It was just, you know, we're going to spoil the party here.
Yeah, in fact, it will be very important to win against Angola opening match, and then maybe win or draw against Egypt. Because when it comes to Zimbabwe, they will still be buoyed by the fact that they held us to a draw last time in the World Cup qualifier. They can make our lives difficult. But if we win both Angola and Egypt, then playing Zimbabwe will have nothing to lose, because we know we're top of the group and we know that we can give other players a run. But that being said, I'm glad that yesterday Bafana had an opportunity to have a run, because you could see that there's some staleness here and there. And as the coach said, they were not knocking the ball around like you wanted them to. So they will work on something in the build-up to the opening game. Because when or had they approached Monday's game without a game, I still fear that the worst could have happened. But I'm glad that they started having a run yesterday. And in particular, Mbule gaining his confidence and scoring, because it was about time he scored now for Bafana.
And of course, the mindset just going into the tournament, Fish, you know, especially a few days out, you know, what are the players going through? What are they thinking? And, you know, just your advice to them at this stage.
I think exactly like Mafa said there, is that it's good that they had a run out yesterday before going to the AFCON. But also, you don't expect to see a Bafana team running full throttle, taking players on. And it's players are preserving themselves for the World, for the AFCON. You know, they don't want to get injured a week or a couple of days before going. So that is expected. I don't expect to see the best possible performance. But most important, they did have a run. Got a good run, like Mafa said there, that Mbuli getting a goal boost his confidence. So that might exactly. I'm just a firm one, exactly like your viewer sent there. I think just taking each match as it is a cup final, and play to what you know you are capable of. What Bafana has done for us over the last 2 years, they've brought us back to African pinnacle football, where we have an expectation of them. And that expectation is of them to go and perform to the best they can at this AFCON. And we know if they do that, they can certainly go a long way again. And I'm excited to see how they perform, because this AFCON we're going into North Africa, and we're going to Morocco, where football is a more than anything else in that country, and that is our biggest challenge. You're going to North Africa, but those countries where before we might have been a little bit apprehensive going, we've overcome this through various teams, club teams going there and winning in club competition there. So I'm excited to see how we perform at this AFCON in Morocco.
All right, guys, can we win it?
Mafa, don't keep quiet.
Nothing.
Mafa's
We
always the
should and
optimistic
can
one.
win it.
Mafa, you're saying we're winning
I think
it?
if we play to...
I say we should,
I'll say
because
that if
we finished third, so we cannot go lower than third. We can only go up.
Fish?
Okay, then Mafa is my senior, so out of respect, you can go second. But anyway, my point is, we will go one. I do believe that if the players just take each game as it comes, I do believe that we certainly will go further than we did last AFCON, because the knockout stages is where concentration and discipline will need to be shown, and they've shown that going so long now without losing a football match. So we have a confident and a national team that is we're excited about, and they must know that they have the whole country behind them, because Bafana Bafana bring us a lot of joy. They're starting to bring us a lot of joy. Yes, you look at all those teams. I can understand Senegal being there. I think that they are a team. I watched a bit of them. I'll come out of their group stage, for the World Cup qualifiers. They did well, and they've got an ex-player as a coach. So for me, Senegal is the threat there for Bafana Bafana in that all those teams there that are predicted to go on or maybe possibly win the AFCON.
I tell you what, I look forward to analyzing the games after the fact. So no doubt we'll be speaking to you guys a lot more. But of course, Bafana Bafana carrying all our hopes and dreams as a nation. And as you both say, they brought back the happy days for South African football fans, and hoping that they will go one better, at least one better, if not all the way in this tournament than they did in the previous edition. But thanks so much to our two football legends. That is, of course, Maponyane and Mark Fish, talking to us about Bafana Bafana's preparations for the 35th edition of the TotalEnergies CAF Africa Cup of Nations. It kicks off this weekend until the 18th of January 2026. SABC Sport will be bringing those games, and we will have analysis for you.